So fall is here, and with all the pumpkin and fall gatherings, apples are a huge part of that. And so I thought to myself, let's build an apple orchard. And we have a perfect place to do it right here. I'm on the outside of our circle garden, and right below it here, we eventually want to do a chicken coop, but this would be a perfect little spot for a little orchard down here on this little hill right here. So we have some Pride of Madeiras here. We do have a guava and some ultra dwarf apples. So we're gonna kind of, minus the guava, finish this little drift of apples. So these are the varieties that we got. Just pop up over here. I don't have a full collection yet because the nurseries are kind of slim right now, going out of season, but we've got a Gala or Gala, Fuji, and a really cool one, Ghost. So we do live in Southern California. Apples are a little tricky here because they do like cold. So they do require chill hours, and chill hours are actually temperatures that drop below 45 degrees. So most apples, I believe, are over 500, but these varieties here can tolerate our warm, temperate climate. But the Gala, this one only requires, right there, 500 or less. Fuji, also 500 or less. And the Ghost, I believe, is 500 as well. So I do only have 3 apples right now. These are standard apples, so they're gonna get pretty tall. I am gonna keep on them though and keep them short, so we can go over pruning and everything when I do so. I do have room for 5, but I only have 3. So I do have a variety off the top of my head that I want to get. It's a Beverly Hills apple, and it really does well out here on the West Coast, just because it also has a low chill requirement. And I'll have one room in the spring to kind of pick out a fun one. So another thing is fruit trees. Sorry, these flies are still out and bugging me. Fruit trees, depending on what type, what variety you get, what species, some of them require cross-pollination between a partner, and some of them are self-fruitful. So 2 of these varieties are self-fruitful, and the Ghost needs a pollinator. So let me flip this around. So the Gala apple is actually a self-fruitful variety. It pollinates itself, so it doesn't need a partner, as well as the Fuji. The Ghost here, it says right here, it does need to be pollinated right here. It does say here, pollinated by pollen fertile mid-season blooming apples. So you can see here a lot of fruit trees will do this. They'll give you when the harvest season is. So the Ghost is an early, and then we have the Gala is a mid to late, and then the Fuji is a late. So I'm not 100% sure when these are going to flower, but the Ghost will need a partner to flower with. So I'm gonna get these ones in the ground, and then I do have another 2 slots for 2 more apple trees. So I will try and find one that will help this little guy out. But I'm pretty excited about these. They're almost a white, pure white apple with a white internal flesh, but it says that it got some good taste test, winner taste test. And then I love Fuji's and I love Gala apples. So we're sticking away from Granny Smiths. It's only because I don't like the sour-y tart apples as much. We could bake with them, but I want to be able to like pick an apple and eat it. I don't fully enjoy green apples, but you never know. Maybe next season I will choose a Granny Smith or such. So let's go ahead and drop these in the ground. Okay, so I got my holes dug. We've got 1, 2, 3, and then the future ones, I do have a persimmon down here. So I have room for maybe 1 here and 2 here. So total, we'll have 5 standards and then 2 ultra dwarfs up there. But I spaced them a little bit closer than what the growers tell you to do. I am gonna keep them a little bit on the shorter side. So I will be doing some pruning. I'm not gonna just let them go full bananas like they want to. But they'll have enough room. Currently, I believe they're 10 feet apart from each other. And I think they say to do 15 to 20 feet. But this is a smaller planting setting. They are gonna be kept under, I'm gonna try and keep them under 10 feet or so. We'll see how that goes. They are standards, so they're gonna wanna get pretty big. But from all the reading that I've done, you can keep them under, backyard orchard height, 10 feet or so, 15 feet, just by staying on top of them manually. So, and I think this right here is a good 30 feet or so. So I think we're in the clear. But, all right, so things that we need. Soda water. All right, so like everything I plant, for you, those of you that have watched these videos before, we've got the cages. These are for ground squirrels and gophers. We have a huge population out here, and they do destroy our root balls on especially newly planted stuff. I do have an acidifier and a plant tone and a grow mulch. This is really good for trees and shrubs. You can also use it as a mulch layer on top, but it has a lot of good organic matter in there that breaks down in the root ball hole. Acidifier. So we do have some higher pH out here. Our water's on the higher side as well. So I'm gonna put some of that in there. Apples do most fruit actually likes to be a little bit on the acidic side. So we're gonna throw a little bit of that in there and help it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. So for those of you that can't see, I dropped the cage in there and then I kind of fill the bottom of it so that there's no big air gaps under there. So when I put the root ball in, it'll be nice and snug with soil. So that's pretty much filled at the bottom, and then I'll just fill around it and make sure I water it in to get all of the air pockets out. This is a little trickier. It's not as easy as planting straight in the ground. It does tend to hold soil at odd levels. So you do kind of have to make sure that you get the soil down and that you're not leaving big air gaps, because those air gaps, if the roots are exposed to air, they will die, they'll shrivel and die. Thus not giving your plant a very good start to life. All right, so we're gonna do the gala first. There's no real rhyme or reason which one I'm placing first. The guava there is a white variety, so I thought I would put something that's not white, like the ghost. So yeah, so this one is like a pinker variety apple, pinkish yellow. One thing when you guys are planting, so there is a union here. On every tree there should be a root stock. Let me show you. It'll say that there's a root stock. They do that just because certain root stocks are more tolerant of different soils and everything. It just basically, the original variety tree was vulnerable to stuff, so this gives the tree a healthier life. And you can see it down here. This is the root stock, and then they grafted the tree onto this. So what you want to do is, you don't have to, but to give the chance the best start, you want to put the graft site away from direct sunlight. So our sun comes this way, rises and falls this way. So I'm gonna hide the Union behind toward the hill up here. So you can see the soil that was in the original can. So we're perfect. All right. Just trying to make a little shelf here since we're on a hill. All right, I think we're good. I'll make it crooked again. No, it's pretty upright. All right, let's do the other two. Union. We're gonna go in the back. Maybe a nice big rock will help keep our little shelf here. Stick to great. All right, so as you can see, I'm making a flat shelf here. You want to capture that water. All right, our Union is above grade. Make sure we get all the soil packed in. And then we're gonna come behind here and mulch too. See all my old mulch. I tried planting lupins here in the middle of the summer. That wasn't a good idea. There we go. Makeshift wall. the start to our orchard. Got Miss Fuji, our ghost apple, and our gala. I need to figure out how to properly pronounce that. And then we do have a little rogue guava. And then this one right here. I actually, to be totally transparent, I got this one online and it was where one of these ones is now. But I relocated it because this is an ultra dwarf. These are all standards. So in the end, I think this one would look different than these. So I have two of the Fujis, but it's fine. I love Fuji apples. And then that one up there is a Santa Ana, and she's also an ultra dwarf. So they'll only get about 8 feet tall or so, and I won't have to do a thing on them. Just, you know, clean them up every now and then, but I'm not gonna have to like force them to be on the shorter side. But this is the start of our circle garden. Drops here. We'll probably have a really pretty pathway going down there. But then you'll be surrounded by all these pretty apple trees and one guava tree. Ta-da. Joe just slipped right here, so gotta be careful. How nice. And then we'll put 2 more over there. And then at the very end, we are greeted with a persimmon tree. So I put her in the ground last year. So she won't have fruit for probably another year or 2. But yeah. Oh, and then we do have, I dropped these in, 2 weeks ago, I think? The crepe myrtles that match the other ones, the Twilight version. I have one there, one there, and then one right underneath that Australian willow. So, all done. Just gonna water them in. I do have drip here. It's going off 3 times a week right now for 30 minutes. It is getting cooler, so probably gonna scale back on those maybe in a week or 2 after these kind of get put to bed. But I do have some ground cover that I think is gonna make that area look really pretty. So I got 2 flats. One is a myoporum, which we have in a lot of areas. It's just a very nice green, super low growing ground cover. And the other one is a type of ice plant. Look how pretty. The foliage is a little bit purple itself, the stems. And then these are closing up right now because the sun's kind of going down. But how pretty that is. So I'm gonna do probably like a drift of the myoporum and then kind of like a little design or something. But our myoporum, sorry guys, I'm out of breath going up and down this hill. But this is myoporum. This is a great ground cover. It's super, you can see how it's like super low growing, drought tolerant. I haven't seen any, well, I lie. I think it does get aphids. This one does not. I don't see any right now. But either aphids or like I don't know, there's some at the top of our hill that seems to be going away now, but they have like a leaf miner look to them underneath. There's some you can tell something's like eating the bottom of them, but it seems to be going away with the cooler days. So I give that a thumbs up. So basically the apple orchard will have greenery like that all on the hillside with a little bit of that purple mixed in. So I'll probably just water these in right now and then plug in the ice plant tomorrow. So we will reconvene tomorrow. Good night. So I might have gotten a little carried away. So Joe and I were talking about it, and to have another 2 apple trees would be a little overkill for just the 2 of us. So we decided, instead of doing the whole bank down there with apples, that we would add some fruit that we would actually eat. But okay, I got a little carried away, but look. I got a few more fruit trees. So we're not gonna put them all down there. So I have room for 2. I think I might cram in 3 right there. And then I'm gonna put some up here on like the stairway, because I kind of want to do a, what do you call it? Kind of like a living tunnel, I guess is the best I can describe it. So I don't know what happened, but we had that big hurricane come through. And for some reason, after all that water came through, this one and this one died. It like was sapping a bunch. I don't know if it was just a crazy influx of water or whatnot, but so we lost 2. So that's my, I guess, excuse for buying more trees. But apricot there and the peach here, or that's actually nectarine, survived. So we're just going to connect them, and then we're going to train them to kind of go over this pathway. But I guess that's for a different video. So back to the trees. I'm going to try and figure out offline which ones I'm going to put down there with the apples. So I will get back to you. All right, so as we head down here, I think Joe's just weeding. We have the 3 apples that we planted here. 1, 2, 3. And we have some room right here to put in 2 more. So all the ones down here that I chose are self-fruitful, which means they don't need a pollinator. The ones that were up there, I chose because there's varieties up there that pollinate with each other. So they need neighbors up there. These ones are pretty much like a free-for-all, so I'm not gonna have to worry about them being close to specific types. The only one actually is the ghost apple that I have right here, but the 2, I believe it was a Fuji that it cross-pollinates with, which is its neighbor right there. So those are all fine. But over here, all right, so I just have to space these out. But this one, we have a royal apricot. This one's really good for our area because it requires, 400 is a lot compared to like a nectarine, which only needs 200, but we'll probably make that out here in the hills. It does get pretty cold. It got like 39 last night. So we're on our way for a good harvest for stone fruits. So we have the apricot down here, self-fruitful. Don't need a partner for this one. So that'll be next to, I believe, the Fuji here. And then moving on down, we have a Snow Queen nectarine. So this one right here, only 250 to 300 hours, which is super nice and self-fruitful. And then, so I think I might just keep this nice and spaced out. I don't want them to be too crammed. So then we have our little persimmon here, which I don't want to move. She's done nothing wrong, so I'll keep her there. And then next to that, we have the crepe myrtle that matches the other side. So this is going to be a nice, we have 3 on this side, which are going to kind of arch this way, and 3 on this side. So that'll be a nice tree line driveway. So This one we're going to keep nice and limbed up, so it's going to be just the trunks on this, so you're not going to have a lot of foliage. The foliage is going to be way up here, so don't have to worry about spacing this too close to things. We're going to keep the persimmon kind of small, like a large hedge right here. And then we do have our utility pole, so we have to keep a distance, and they have to have access to this just in case, because that goes to our house over there. Oh my god, tumbleweed, it's coming for me. Oh my god, oh my god. Almost got attacked by a tumbleweed. We have one left over. I did go a little crazy. So at the end of our avocado row, I was gonna put one right where the rosemary drift meets the germander. I was gonna put one right there. This one is a nectarine. So this is the pinnament nectarine. And this one, I believe this one only needs 200 hours. I'm not sure, but this one's also self-fruitful as well. So again, this little area will probably be where we have our chicken coop. So we're gonna have a whole row of trees down there, little opening right there. This has to be kind of free around the utility pole. So we'll probably put some gravel or something just to make it look nice. We have some trees chipped, so we just use that to kind of weed suppress. And a row of trees right here. So having like the little chicken coop right here, kind of protected by all these trees, I think will be really nice. So, all right, so for more digging.
To stand by walking away. I don't wanna run it, cause I wanted to stay. Would you tear me apart? Where are you coming from, worry? Who's she kissing your shoulders? I can't stop every time when you calling me back, and your voice is the one thing that bringing me back to life. You're bringing me back to life.
So it's been a couple days and we finally finished the apple orchard. We did modify it a little bit. Let me show you what we have. So this project I was super indecisive about, so things got a little bit moved. So as you guys know, started the intention of doing all apples, realized we're not gonna eat that many apples. So why don't we put things in here that we really like? So as you walk down this from the circle garden, you can see that my eucalyptus fell during the wind, so I have to pull her back up. But going down this pathway, as you can see, this is the line of all the trees, but then I had 2 left over because I didn't like where I originally put them. Yeah, I'm not a super planner, as you can tell. So amidst all this coyote brush, I put 2 here. So let me flip the camera, you can probably see it better. I originally had 2 way down there, kind of close to that oak tree, and it was way too close to the oak tree. So I made a actual pathway over there, I'll show you. But this is the guava, those are the 3 apples, and then the 2 peaches that we got. Since this is gonna be a walkway, I was like, well, why don't we put anything over here? Like, this is just shrub. So carved this out a little bit. Sorry about all the mess. Carved this out a little bit, little opening. Stuck one of the peaches there. And then as you walk down a little farther, you have another peach right there. And then on the other side of that is our mango. So this will actually be like a cool row on this side and a nice row over here. I do like a little bit of organization in a garden, with a little touch of, I guess, cottagey chaos, but this makes my anxiety go way down because I originally had trees all the way to there. And I was like, that's gonna look so bad when they're all grown up. So now we've got the avocados here, we got the apricot there, and then this is an actual entrance now. So I put some iceberg roses here. So this is gonna be a hedge of rosemary all the way around. We're gonna make this utility area nicer. We have to keep this accessible though for the utility. So I thought this would be nice. It seems like what I've been doing is everywhere that there's an opening to the garden, I do like little iceberg roses. So this makes sense. So I'll leave this open. These will all connect on these side. I'm gonna do one more rosemary right there because there's like a little gap in the beautiful telephone pole wall. But yeah, I think that'll look really nice. So the ones that were originally here, way too close to this. So now these will be nice, kind of entrance. And then you got them all over here. So we got the persimmon here that ends the line of trees. And I kind of flip-flop these ones. So I put this one down here. This is the Snow Queen nectarine. And then this one up here is the Pinnament nectarine. And then you got the rest of the apples. So, all right. So that is it. What was going to be a very simple little project turned into be a little chaotic, but I like the way it turned out. So sorry if this was a little long, but I hope you enjoyed it. I will definitely keep you guys posted. Oh, I forgot to show you. In the meanwhile, I planted all the ice plant. Let me show you. Can't really see it because they're very small right now. But all the little purple ones, it's gonna look so nice. So I put all the myoporum on the top, like a nice row, and then occasionally I went down and then I went back up. And then everything else I kind of just filled in with this purple ice plant. I think it's gonna look so pretty. It's gonna be such a pop down here. And then last year I had tried to do some, where are they? Some trailing rosemary. Some of them took, so I just left them. It'll be just kind of like different textures and everything of green, but I love this pop of purple. It's gonna look so pretty. All right, everyone, I'm officially signing out. So thanks for watching this video, everyone. If you haven't already, go ahead and like, subscribe. You guys can follow our little adventure here at Malibu Moments. And take care, and I'll see you later.